top 10 into second round qualifying here last night. Any intel as to have they changed their game plan? Did they just not have the speed? That was a puzzlement.
Well, considering that last year that was the first Daytona 500 they had won since Dale Jr. won in 2014. They always came down here and qualified well. We went through a period where we saw them spinning out on their own. So they had the car where it had good speed but wasn't driving good. I felt like even last year they made a little bit of a change in the philosophy at the speedways to make the cars drive good, maybe give up a little qualifying speed.
Well, it's a definite balance. I mean, you want the car to go fast, but if you can't push and it doesn't drive good and you can't be aggressive with everything that you need to do with the car and blocking and while you're being pushed, then you're just not going to race very good. So that qualifying speed is great, but winning the Daytona 500 is way more fun.
You definitely have a car that's stuck, right? It can't be light on its feet. As soon as a car gets close to you with a push, you start slipping and sliding. You want that thing to have some grip.
Ricky Stenhouse with his fastest lap, 46.41 seconds. How about 23:11? Bubba Wallace, Tyler Reddick put their Toyotas out front, and here comes the Ford of Ryan Preece, number 60.
Well, we saw a lot of speed out of Ryan Preece, and if you can make that car drive good, you want to have a fast car. You want to be on offense. When your car is faster, you can be more aggressive because of the fact that you know you can go forward.
Still up front. Still open in front. 45 still lined up with you tight.
Find that better. You don't want to be right on their bumper, especially right now through the trial mode. But Ross is doing a really good job because he's getting to the back bumper of William Byron just as they come up off the corner. And when you can do that, you can push all the way down the straightaway. When you're not doing that right is when you get halfway down the straightaway, getting connected to the bumper. Ross did a really good job off of turn 2 right there and was able to get connected to William Byron as soon as that banking flattened out on the straightaway.
Great racing so far. They've mixed them up, right? He's got 3 Chevys on that outside, but Preece moving up and breaking up those 2311 cars on that outside. Preece's car is extremely fast.
In the speed with the Fords, and one thing that the Ford can do that the Chevrolets can do it better, they can push but is really good because of how flat their nose is.
I think they've all worked on that and fixed it. I mean, even the Toyotas. We always come down here in them Fords, you know, Kevin, you and I as teammates, we could push so hard and aggressive. They've all made some adjustments to get better on these super speedways.
Way into the 500.
And you see Ryan Preece is wound up in the middle. He's going to go all the way to the back of this pack.
They got that. Yeah, that Ryan Preece, that lone wolf up there with those 2 Chevrolets.
14, Elio Castroneves and Justin Haley quickly in and out of the care center, checked and released. However, Chandler Smith was in there for quite some time. We are told that he has been released from the care center, and hopefully
I hate it for those guys because I couldn't see out of my left side mirror. My digital mirror wasn't working. So honestly didn't know 100% where the 7 was. Last I heard was 7 was getting ready to start.
His 11th, Martin Truex is 17th. As we go back to green, Byron and Wallace on the front row. Chevrolet's inside, Toyota's outside.
Well, there's the answer to our question, Clint. The Toyota stayed together so that Tyler Reddick could push Bubba Wallace, and looks just like the race did before we went to the caution.
Dillon brothers side by side behind the front 4.
Keep them bumpers lined up. So important to not get offset, get on that left rear, turn these cars around, especially that 24. You heard William Byron talking about it.
As these races get towards the end, you wind up being a little bit more aggressive, and on Sunday you'll definitely see some chaos at the end of the race from bumps being too hard. I don't anticipate that being a lot different tonight. They put a checkered flag out there and a trophy. These guys are going to continue to be aggressive, and we continue to see the aggressive pushes from Ross Chastain and Tyler Reddick in that second row, and it's only going to get harder.
Justin Allgaier up to 8th, make that 9th now as Kyle Busch edges ahead in the number 8.
I'll tell you what, Ty Dillon's doing well at the chalk. You see him right there, the 3rd car on that outside, and the 10 car, staying right there with it.
Now we tend to lump him in with the RCR cars because, after all, he is a Childress. Richard is his grandfather, but he drives for Colic Racing. located on the Richard Childress Racing campus in Waltham, North Carolina. But Matt Collard's operation is